7 horses died on the track during the spring meet at Churchill Downs and 5 horses scratched in the Kentucky Derby this year. One of those, of course, was the front runner Forte. WDRB's Dalton Godby here now to share how the industry is reacting. Dalton, I wouldn't imagine that these numbers are normal.
No, they certainly are not, especially the 7 horse deaths there that we saw at Churchill Downs. There is a lot to still be discovered as to why that happened. As for the 5 scratches in the race for the Derby itself, it's not normal, but it's also a coincidence, many are saying. Here's some reaction from that decision from the owner of Forte and also his trainer.
I think the vets are being overly cautious.
Unfortunately, in our industry, if the wrong decision's made, it's not as simple as putting a cast on and being okay.
So I guess the big question after hearing that is there anything being done to prevent these deaths?
Well, one of the things that is in the works right now, of course, is new legislation that could go into effect May 22nd. There was a lot of discussion over what needs to be done in the industry to prevent these horse deaths from happening, what measures have to be taken, and there is a plan to enact this legislation, which was passed in a previous year, but it has been delayed to go into effect until May 22nd, which is 2 days after the Preakness. And that legislation will allow for regulation to be the same across all 38 U.S. racing states. The drug testing, the drug sampling, instead of that being different in different states at different racetracks, it will all be required to be the same all around, and that's something that owners and trainers believe could have an impact and prevent these deaths and scratches and those sort of things from happening in the future.
You mentioned scratches. Of course, Forte scratched from the Derby. It was a big bummer for his team. What are they thinking about the Preakness?
Well, one of the things, as we mentioned, it's not all of the same across all of these states. So what happens in Kentucky right now could sometimes be different in, say, Maryland, where the Preaknesses happen. Forte is on the 14-day Kentucky State Veterinarians list, meaning he may not be able to get off of that list until 14 days and another evaluation. We know the Preakness is 11 days away now, so there is some confusion from Forte's team on whether or not the horse can get off of that list, but they told me yesterday that they do want to run him in the Preakness.
Okay, we'll be watching it closely to see what happens. Dalton, thank you as always.